Welcome, guys. Today we got an important, amazing interview with GemGemCrypto coming back to the channel after years. And today we're going to be talking about crypto, some economy, and also some, personal investments. So, Gem, can you just do a brief introduction for yourself?
Yes, thank you, Andre. It has been, I think, 2 years since I hopped onto your channel, but things are good. I got some new position because right now I'm actually hosting for Roxham TV. So Roxham TV is like a Bloomberg for Bitcoin only. So I'm doing my daily show, so from Monday to Friday, 4 a.m. Eastern time, actually. So for American folks out there, catching live might be difficult, but luckily for you guys, like the replays are available on both my channels, so GemGemCrypto, and also on Roxham TV YouTube channel as well.
Oh, wow. So with those live streams, what do you dive into outside of?
Of course, like we're gonna look at Bitcoin because we are doing daily analysis. So I usually start my show with a little bit of TA. So let's see where Bitcoin is going on that day. I actually just finished my live stream before I hop onto your channel. So so I do TA for Bitcoin. Right now I focus more on the macro assets, so stock markets instead of the altcoins like degen stuff. I'm trying to stay away from a degen stuff because we keep wanting to have an alt season, but unfortunately we didn't really get to see one. I would say ever since 2021. Maybe I'm a boomer, but there was like a short-lived alt season, maybe just for like a week or two. There's like meme coin mania, but it wasn't like if you actually look at the chart, like altcoins has been bleeding against Bitcoin, and Bitcoin so far it has been sucking liquidity from altcoins instead. Like this cycle is really weird. It's not the same compared to the previous cycles, like any previous cycles we have ever seen. So that's one thing I noticed. The past year, especially, I kind of stay away from altcoins, focus more on the macro assets, some AI, some Bitcoin, and I added some rare earth as well just recently.
Rare earth, like commodities?
Yeah. Because like I'm looking at geopolitics every single day on Roxham TV, and one thing I noticed about Donald Trump is that whenever he has some conflict with China, the topic rare earth would come out. And then usually it makes sense to buy basically the biggest rare earth company being MP Materials. So I recently added that to my portfolio, but like as a really recent buy. Long term, I do like the rare earths cards because whenever Donald Trump is having a temper, we know rare earth like MP Material is going to do really well.
That's pretty good. I like that because last time we talked, you had a bunch of altcoins, and now you're mixing in kind of like more conservative, safer assets a little bit.
Yes, definitely. Because like I like to look at charts. So I like to look at numbers and data because like my charts don't lie to me. And if we look at Toto 3 divided by BTC, we know Toto 3 stands for the total crypto market cap. Take out the so minus BTC and minus Ethereum, and then we use that divided by BTC. What we've been seeing is that altcoins has been bleeding against BTC since 2022. So it doesn't make sense for me to pick pennies in front of a train. So like for the past year, especially, we have seen AI is doing better than Bitcoin, or even gold is doing better than Bitcoin. So I think as a good trader or good investor, like we have to be open-minded because I'm 100% crypto person. I came from a crypto background, so I enter crypto without knowing how the traditional financial market works. So that's how hardcore I am as a crypto folk. But like one thing I notice about crypto people is that we're not open-minded. We're very stubborn. Like we feel like crypto, okay, if I'm a crypto folks, I cannot touch TradFi. That is the sentiment I've been getting from crypto folks. And I think like if you don't like money, then yeah, you do you. But like I like to look at data and like to look at number. And looks like the alt season is not in crypto market, but it's in the TradFi market. So that's why I kind of like switch from all these like degen stuff to macro asset.
I see. Especially small. I mean, the trend's your friend, especially when it comes to money. We got one question from Beach. Which small crypto does she think has the best potential?
Well, if the person joined earlier, then he would know that I am not like actively looking for degen coins or smaller coins. I am, well, as I mentioned, I added MP materials to my portfolio recently. So that is a game. I would say MP material is very volatile. So crypto wise, altcoins is very difficult because like narrative changes every single week. Of course, I have some of my friends, they still manage to do like a 10x literally just like last week. But like I know how much effort they have put in finding that so-called crypto gem doing the 10x. I know he lost actually a lot of money gambling other coins and then end up finding that one coin. So he put hours and hours, and then the altcoins, I mean, the timing wise was good. He got out like within a week and do a 10x. But right now, if you look at the altcoin that he touched, it's down like 90% or something. So yeah, again, like for me, it doesn't make sense to put my to put my money just to see where it goes. It feels more like gambling to me. And the narrative seems to switching so much, like crypto market is moving so much. I much rather put a larger sum of money into bigger assets so I could get some sleep at night. Like I mean MP materials, I would say is quite volatile because it's the political card between the US and China. So that thing, it moves volatilely. And just like I think 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks, I can't remember. So just like 1 or 2 week, MP material pumped to $100 and it dropped to $50. It just happened within this month. So it's quite volatile, but at the same time, like long-term wise, it's making a lot more sense to me compared to choosing all these like small assets, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And when you're looking at these charts, are you looking at like COT data or looking at like who else is buying into it, like big companies or big governments?
Wait, say that again. What's the question again?
Who are you looking at? Other potential buyers who's looking at commodities in your area, the same asset classes?
No, I don't do gold. I know gold for the past year performance. Year to date is doing better than Bitcoin. But yeah, okay, for gold it makes sense to maybe buy ETF because it's trading closer to the spot price. But I'm not sure about how like local American citizens feel about gold. But like us Asian people, when I talk to my mom about it, like she would think, okay, buying gold, that means going to a shop to purchase like a hardcore gold, like hard asset, right? But the thing is, when you go inside a shop and purchase that gold, there is like a markup. There is like a fee attached to it, like a 10% fee because gold is an accessory. So like you have to pay that premium. It just like, it doesn't make sense to me buying that gold. But if any of you guys want to buy ETF, I think, okay, this year it makes sense, but it depends on your needs. Like if you do just year to date, like this past year, maybe gold is outperforming Bitcoin, but if you zoom out, Bitcoin will always win.
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation. In our group, we had the discussion like which one's better over long periods of time. There's a lot of things being said about Bitcoin hitting $1 million, $200,000, but to me, I just have to say, just own them both. Trade it, but own them both in physical as much as possible. Do you still buy Bitcoin in off ledger? Like keep it off ledger?
Yeah, of course. I always put it in my cold wallet.
Nice. No, there's been some issues. Actually, we have let's see before. So what are your thoughts about Bitcoin's current price? Do you think it's heading down lower? That's our current question right now.
Yes, that's a really good question. Because from a TA perspective, last week, so over the weekend, it was a very interesting one. One indicator that has never failed us is the Bitcoin 50-week moving average. So usually if we have a weekly candle close below Bitcoin 50-week moving average, we have the first sign of a bear market. Yes, there you go. So we have the first sign of bear market. If we get like 2 weekly candles close below the 50-week moving average, then that is the definition of bear market. Over the weekend was really interesting because we have the correction down to $98,000. Like it is like if I have to call whether it's a bear market or a bull market, like right now from a technical standpoint, it feels more like a coin flip, not gonna lie. Because like Bitcoin has been kicking the can down the road. I thought we're gonna get a confirmation, like for the few days ago, on Monday we have the weekly candle close. We have the confirmation whether we're closing above or below. But like what happened over the weekend is that we actually closed above the 50-week, and right now it's like basically not doing so much. There are signs that we might be maybe at the early stage of bear market, but we still haven't got the confirmation yet. But if you zoom out to the RSI, so like 2-week RSI on Bitcoin, we noticed that we broke out of the RSI upward support trend. We know that I am a strong believer when it comes to the 4-year cycle, so 4-year halving cycle of Bitcoin, because we know the Bitcoin reward going to get cut in half every roughly 4 years. So if we apply the same thing, we're going to get 6th of October being the cycle top. So 6th of October, we got 126,000, which is the all-time high. So if we apply the 4-year cycle being so intact, 2026 is going to be a bear market. So the entire year going to be correction and extremely boring, going to chop around consolidation. And another thing aligned, which happens to be 2026 as well as the midterm election. So during the midterm election, we have we usually get a bear market in Bitcoin. So that's one interesting like incident. They kind of align as well. So what happened is that we have always known that Bitcoin has this 4-year cycle. So we've always known that 6th of October, there's a chance that it's going to be a cycle top. So like some of my friends actually took a massive profit. Like they got out at 126,000. Well, basically that day. So some of my friends did that. But as I keep mentioning on my live stream, on my show, in crypto, there are 3 groups of people right now. So the first group is that we happen to think 6th of October, it was a cycle top because it's completely aligned with the Bitcoin 4-year cycle. And then the second group we have is that maybe we're going to stretch that out. So November and December, we're going to see the new all-time high. So the best time is still ahead of us. And maybe 2026 is going to be a bear market. And then we also have a third group of people which believe that Bitcoin is getting so big since institutions are getting in, nations wide, like all these countries around the world are getting in. So Bitcoin is too, like, maybe it is on par with gold. So those are the three groups of people in crypto right now. And I have to say I'm more aligned with the second group. So I still think the best time is ahead of us. So maybe it's going to happen in November and December. The reason why is because, like, in terms of the 4-year cycle, there are different ways of calculating, of like predicting the cycle top. So the first group, why we got 6th of October is because we were using the cycle bottom to the cycle top, and we will get roughly 1,064 days. So that's how we got the magical number 6th of October. That's the first group of people. And then the second way of calculating or predicting the cycle top is that if we use the cycle top to cycle top, we'll get like 1,440 something days, like something around that. So if we use the second method of predicting the cycle top, we're going to stretch that out to November or December if we're lucky.
Let me see. Well, actually, I'll bring up the chart one more time. Let me see. That would be something like this. So if it does do something like that, let's go back to the monthly. It might do like a double top up here, or if you guys count that as a triple top for that point right here. But it's kind of, man, like you said just a simple moving average, right? 50?
Yes, 50 week.
Yep. On the 50 weekly, we are basically love touching that.
Yes, yes.
Man, dangerous times. I mean, it could bounce. It definitely could bounce. Like, that's something for me. Like, I protected myself. Like, for the guys who are shorting this market, protect yourselves, because Bitcoin can be very violent. It can rocket right back up just off this point. So protect your shorts by moving your stops. Let's see. I like this right here, but we'll see. I think there's going to be. I mean, when I see this, obviously, when it comes to like a political view, Trump is very pro crypto, especially with all his Trump coin and stuff. So maybe we'll have a bear year next year, and we might come back and, hopefully break past this 125, 126K high. 200,000 would be crazy. I just wonder how low it'll go. Like, if we do have a bear year, how low do you think it can go? Or what price would you want?
Well, so from a technical standpoint, usually in a bear market, Bitcoin would go back to its 200-week moving average. So 200-week right now is sitting at $55,000. Of course, it's slowly going to catch up. It depends when we're going to have a confirmation of Bitcoin closing below the 50-week moving average. But like, general rule of thumb, in a bear market, Bitcoin will always go back to 200-week moving average.
Let me see the 200-week. Yeah, 55. Ooh. I just wonder how many people are in on a leverage position at the current price, and how long do they plan to hold that? Ooh, man, because that seems like some pain. It's a lot of pain.
Exactly.
Let me see right here. But that's such a good buying point. I have everything stacked right here. 85s. Look, if it heads down even lower, oh my gosh, that'd be a beautiful day. Let's get onto another thing. So when it comes to you looking at AI and other companies in the States, we're going to look at MSTR. So what is your approach with MicroStrategies?
Yeah, I mean, the whole Bitcoin proxy narrative is kind of dying down, because in the beginning of the year, people were saying, okay, Bitcoin proxy, like Bitcoin treasury companies, it was so hot. And then end up, there was so many copycats trying to do the same thing of MSTL. But one thing about this Bitcoin proxy companies is that they are Bitcoin on leverage. So if Bitcoin goes up, it has the leverage effect. It's going to pump even more. But vice versa, the same thing going to happen when it goes down. So that's why we're seeing MSTL bleeding so much. I'm not going to lie, just looking at the chart, seems that we have a couple of closes, weekly closes below its 50-week moving average.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any conviction that MSTL going to go back to its previous all-time high or even go back to 400 in this year.
Yeah, it would take a lot for it to go back to the 400s, especially moving average. Oh man, where's the simple moving average? Let's bring this up. Oh, even for me, it's looking bearish. Really
Yes.
bearish. Real quick, just stick to 50. Change the style. I mean, it's actually kind of interesting when I'm trying looking at like Twitter news. I hear a lot of people claiming that Bitcoin's at a low, keep the buying pressure. So we're at this real weird point where people are claiming buy. We're bouncing off the 50. People are entering the shorts. So we might see maybe a week or two of just like a doji or a flat candle of all these people combating against each other. Let's see. We have a question from Abib's Prophet. Where's your question? Oh, okay. What do you think was one of the big reasons for Bitcoin to fall at when it hit 126K?
Like I mentioned, because Bitcoin is really predictable. We have the 4-year cycle. And every single time when we hit a magical number, like from the cycle bottom to cycle top, each cycle, it lasts 1,064 days. So that's how we have the magical number. And that's why there was so much rumor on Twitter, crypto Twitter. So people were saying 6th of October was the all-time high. So the whole thesis, it was based upon Bitcoin 4-year halving cycle.
Let's see, October 20. Yeah, pretty much it. October 5th and 6th. Yeah, top right there. I hope that, Abib, does that answer your question? I hope so. As actually, we're very close to, I mean, I'm not a really big fan of moving average crosses, but we're actually in a pretty bad zone if it does cross. Ooh, man, we'll see. Well, and one other thing, when it comes to politics, we're talking about the midterms are next year. Now, I don't want to make it too dramatic, like, you know, if you're Democratic or whatever side, but based on this shutdown and how it ended, I think there's going to be a violent tear. Like, it's going to be a lot of side switching over. So, what are your thoughts about that's going to happen to crypto?
Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult to say because, like, what happened during the shutdown? We have, okay, first of all, it's the longest shutdown in the US entire history. And it's doing more harm than good for sure, because we know the airport, it was such a mess. People are not getting paid. They have to work like 2 or 3 jobs or drive Uber just to stay afloat. So that is really horrible. But like in terms of US government, during the shutdown, they're actually been collecting a lot of money, so tax money. And what it means for shutdown is that the US government don't get to spend that money. So what we have seen from the TGA, so Treasury General Account, is that it's piling up. So it's spiking up so much because the US government has only been collecting money instead of spending. But this is actually not a good thing for the economy. It's actually extracting money from the GDP, so it's hurting US GDP quite a lot. So we know that the shutdown going to end this week. because that's what Polymarket said, and usually Polymarket is really spot on with this kind of stuff. So we know the shutdown is coming to an end. What it means is that U.S. government can get to spend the money again. So it's actually a positive momentum for Bitcoin, because like money is injecting into the economy finally.
Yeah, we were also talking about that. Like, it's interesting. Like, since America's back to our spending spree. Now, I don't know if you looked at that part, the aspect of the economy, but do you think how much more are we going to be spending? Because we're sitting at like, I think $33 trillion in debt, like not including the long-term liabilities. I think next year is going to start ballooning even faster. Like, America just loves to spend. Here we go. Very interesting market, but actually, okay. Abib's actually asking another question about here. Let me actually think. Here you go. What about the rumor for insider trading? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it obviously very much is insider trading. So the insider trading accusation, I believe this person is referring to, is on 10th of October. That's when Donald Trump tweet out that he's going to tax 100% tariff rate on China. So that is causing a lot of panic in the market. And we noticed there's like the most, usually because like October is the best month for Bitcoin, like Bitcoin's return. That's why we call it October in crypto circle. But this October, so this year in 2025, it has been the most manipulated, the most insider trading ever. Because, like, okay, I'm not sure, Andrew, if you know Hyperliquid.
Could you repeat that, please?
Have you heard of Hyperliquid?
Bring up Hyperlink.
Have you heard of Hyperliquid?
I've not. No.
Okay, it's a decentralized exchange. So because everything is so transparent, you can see the wallet. And what this viewer Abdib, how do you pronounce that name? So what this viewer is referring to is there is a wallet. So it's a completely brand new wallet. So he created this wallet on Hyperliquid. Of course, we could use this because it's a decentralized exchange. Everything is transparent. So there is this new wallet created 30 minutes before Donald Trump tweeted that out. So he was going to tax China for 100% tariff rate. So of course, that wallet benefited massively, made like multi-millions of dollars. So there's no doubt it's a lot of insider trading. And yeah, it's so far it's the most manipulated, like one of the most manipulated months in the entire Bitcoin history. There's no doubt about that.
Dang. Actually, for me, I'm just hearing about that. Like, when it comes to manipulation, usually for us in the stock market, we're like, oh, Nancy Pelosi's trading. How do we know? Or we see the other people in the market, but that's crazy. So 30 minutes prior, so they already cashed out their position.
Of course.
Dang. Maybe. I wonder how close they would have to be to Trump to know how that is. Interesting. Let me see what else we can go over there. But thanks, man. That's a good point to bring up. Even I'm not the biggest crypto guy, so I don't know much about all the things that's happening out there. Let me give you 1 second. Here we go. So when we check out Coin Market Cap, let's see, where's the not remove? Here we go. When we look at Coin Market Cap, checking out the market, how much Bitcoin dominance. If we see when just hypothetically the market does go down for crypto, do you think Bitcoin's going to be even more of a dominance during that period?
Wait, say that again. What's the question again?
So next year, possibly we're going to see a market short, and Bitcoin dominance is at, let me see, how can we find this out on here? Fear, greed. Actually, I need to find this out right here. Give me a second. But do you think that Bitcoin's going to be more of a dominance when the bear market being like 50 or 60% of the market, even more so?
Yeah, I think it's still gonna shoot up because that's what happened in a bear market. And right now, technically, we're still in a bull market, and yet Bitcoin is sitting at 60% dominance. So it's just gonna get worse in a bear market for altcoins.
Yeah, I hope they survive pretty good. I mean, when even the list that a lot of the other viewers were talking about outside of Bitcoin, Ethereum, like the big two or the top 100, I think a lot of these are going to be just, I would say, guys, be careful if you're in margin or leverage in these positions. And these things move so quickly, so violently. Like even I've seen these jump people stops. So just be careful. Like this is the Wild West, and I don't play with it that much anymore. But is there any small cryptos that would be, coming back to your horizon, I don't know, after the crash? Like, would you start looking at them again when they start getting cheap?
I don't know, like Solana, it still makes sense to me, but like the rest I'm sitting on defense.
Solana, damn, it's $159. I should have stayed longer. Oh no. I feel like I sold out way too early. I should have stayed in a lot of these cryptos. That is what it is. How is the political? How is crypto in Hong Kong? Is it getting more popular? Like, how is it growing there?
Yeah, I mean, Hong Kong is doing tremendous things for crypto. We actually front run the US for both the sport Ethereum ETF and also sport Solana ETF. So, yeah, Hong Kong is diving the dip and toe into crypto. So, yeah, I'm really proud of what Hong Kong has been doing.
Yeah, the only thing that I've seen, like when it comes to crypto, is like basically the crypto ATMs. But we had a big fraud case up there. Basically, some of these ATMs were being hacked, stealing people's information. It was like we had that for Vegas news and stuff. But I would like to see more people adopting crypto, getting out, basically being more free with their money and stuff. Give me a second. Any more questions? I'm happy people are awake right now, man. I'm usually passed out.
Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of fun. I mean, like outside of shorting Bitcoin, that's the only aspect of crypto I've been looking at. And I mean, my primary focus has been precious metals. Like I tell people, I was buying silver at under $10, and I'm like, was it silver to two? I say silver 200, gold to 10K, and Bitcoin maybe 200,000 at that point. Hopefully. Oh, that'd be such a beautiful day. We got another question. What do you think people are saying he's doing it again? Can we expect another dump? Well, I think that was already covered earlier. Beeb, just scroll back in the interview. She already covered that about the cycling, about crypto heading down lower or possibly heading down lower. I mean, would you be surprised if Bitcoin didn't crash and just head up higher, like made higher highs?
I mean, because like at the end of the day, there are only three groups of people, as I mentioned. Like, if Bitcoin has to follow exactly the 4-year cycle, being 6th of October, we just have to deal with it. Like the emotion, like of us, how we feel. Like Bitcoin just don't care about how we feel, don't care about our emotions.
Forget this. It's gonna be emotional as crap, especially on the news and stuff. A lot of the guys I've talked to follow like Robert Kiyosaki or Rich Dad Poor Dad stuff. And he's promoting Bitcoin. So a lot of them are just dumping in head over heels right now. And it's too dangerous right now. Let's see. Is there any other big points you want to talk about crypto or your personal investments you want to get into?
Not that I could think of.
All right. I say, all right, guys. Any open questions? Any questions, guys? Jeez. Any questions at all? We can talk about economics, investments. Are you? Right now, so you're looking at commodities. So, is that in the U.S. market, your ticker, or these are Hong Kong markets?
I don't really trade Hong Kong stocks, actually.
Oh.
But the MP material that I was referring to is the American company. So, yeah, it makes sense. Like whenever, because like this company is heavily funded by government, and they have the word from the government that if the stock price dropped to a certain point, the government gonna ape in and script like a certain contract price. I forgot how much. So MP material is like a no-brainer to me, actually.
I see. Yeah, if you have that much confidence into it, as much as like for me, I have like the most utmost amount of confidence in precious metals. The one thing that I would see that would, if hypothetically speaking, for the price to go up in Bitcoin, if I see central banks start buying it, that would blow up the price. Like
exactly.
That would be I'll be kind of scared at the same time, because if central banks start buying it, they have like an unlimited amount of money.
Yes.
$1 million Bitcoin, basically. Oh, okay. We have another question, and let's see if it's, can people invest into the U.S. market even if they're not American citizens? Yeah.
Yeah, I think Andre has more perspective over there.
Yeah, I think I invest into like 9 other countries. So if American can do it on the opposite side, they can do it reversed. It's really not that hard. It's just expensive for filing taxes. They expect like a $5,000 filing fee. Yeah, that's all the questions I have. You have anything else you want to cover?
I think we've covered pretty much everything about Bitcoin, right?
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. How about this, man? Just send me the questions. I can email or text her, and because I think you cover a lot of these questions already on your live stream.
Yeah, so
500.
Yes, definitely head to GemGemCrypto if you guys are curious about Bitcoin or macro or AI. So, yeah, I'm doing live stream every single day from Monday to Friday. You know where to find me.
I'll put all your links in the description box and also in the first pinned comments. So really wonderful.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
All right,
Thanks
guys.
for having me.
Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. Peace. Let me see.